At an Inn by Thomas Hardy. This is a poem about unrequited love, and lost love, and forbidden love, and even non-love. Consequently, the lines convey regret, longing, and frustration, along with a generous dollop of misunderstanding. Let's start at the beginning. A couple arrive at an inn where the owners jump to the conclusion that the speaker and his companion are lovers. The speaker speculates that on that day, maybe the planets will align to influence the owners to acknowledge the couple's alleged love. However, the third and fourth stanzas explicitly state that there was no love between the couple, although there is the hint that this should have been the case. The narrative ironically concludes with the revelation that in later years the couple would wish they were lovers, but circumstance has made this impossible. The events of the poem are based on a real-life incident in the 1890s involving the married Hardy and a female friend, Florence Henniker. During a visit to Winchester, he wanted to take their friendship to a more romantic level, but she declined to do so. This biographical context alters our reading and adds perhaps a resentful mood on the part of the speaker, particularly in the anticlimactic lines of 19 to 32. Certainly, in these lines, there's a semantic field of death and illness, which conveys the emotional distance that has grown between the couple. This cold mood is in contrast to the warmer language of the opening two stanzas. There is a clear, knowing suggestion of nudge, nudge, wink, wink to the inn owner's gossipy assumptions about the couple, but they also acknowledge that what they discern in the couple's relationship is symptomatic of true love. Ironically, their conclusions are well wide of the mark. The final stanza sees another shift in mood as the story is brought more up to date to the situation years later. A further layer of irony is presented with a couple who in the past seemed to be in love but weren't, are now appearing not to be in love but are. Unfortunately, distance and marriage to others prevents them from being together. Hardy's use of apostrophes and concluding with exclamatory convey his heartfelt anguish and sorrow in a manner more in line with expectations of a poem about unrequited love. Ranged against the couple are the forces of the universe. In the second stanza, astrology is invoked to indicate that the couple should be together, but this apparent blessing by the cosmos is undermined by the caesura and the inclusion of the modal verb maybe to suggest doubt. The later personification of love as a fickle and capricious god echoes the blinded glottis lament in King Lear. As flies to wanton boys are we to the gods, they kill us for their sport. The machinations and cruelty of fate is a central theme of Hardy's novels, and is particularly present in his final book, Jude the Obscure, which also centres on a couple who love one another but cannot find their happily ever after. Indeed, the heroine of that novel was modelled on Florence Henniker, who Hardy unsuccessfully tried to woo back in Winchester. Therefore, the reader is encouraged to sympathise with the speaker's plight. And yet, once again, the speaker's love, who in the real story was female and would have been so in Hardy's imagination, is silent. The male speaker denies her a voice and speaks for the both of them. We do not know if she shared his regret or ever truly had any desire for him. She, like all the female subjects of love in the anthology, is reduced to a mute, passive object.